Good evening, everyone. What, did you think there was not going to be a stream tonight? Oh boy, are you wrong. Well, I know it's really late. It's not late for me. I'm usually more of a night owl. I like staying up at night and all that stuff. But there's going to have to be some changes going on from now going forward. So, what I discussed in my previous stream, almost at the end of it, as to what we were going to expect. I'm talking about my personal issues. It's not issues. But what to expect going forward, right? So, first things first. I got the job, I got hired, and today was my first day of work, so it all kind of came very abruptly, but hey, you know what? The sooner the better. Whatever. I wasn't going to do anything special today. So yeah, I decided to go ahead and go work. It is practically Monday to Friday job. It is going to be in the afternoons, and I finish at 10 o'clock, which conflicts with the stream schedule when I would normally start my stream at 9. So finishing at 10, by the time I get home, by the time I, sort everything out, I'm thinking I should be able to start my streams at 11 if I'm going to plan to keep this going. The issue as well is that I talked about this on my previous stream. I won't be able to doom scroll Twitter and get every little bit of excellent news. So I don't think it's going to significantly decrease the quality of my content. I will still bring all the important news and information to you guys. So that's still going to be a thing, but I'm probably going to miss some small stuff because I'm not going to be able to be on my phone while at work, right? So most of that, researching, I guess, would have to be done in the mornings, which it's painful for me, but whatever. I wanted a night shift would be best, in my opinion, because, at this time I would be at work and yeah, I'll be working overnight from, 10 p.m. till 6 a.m. You might think I'm a lunatic for that, but I think it would work out fine. I could sleep throughout the mornings, skip this whole morning volatility mumbo jumbo. I don't day trade, so I don't need the morning volatility. I still use it to my advantage, don't get me wrong, and it's good, right? Oh great, my internet is dying. Am I still connected or what? I don't want to be yapping into the void. It looks like I'm still connected. No. What do you mean current system is busy? What is happening? Hold on, I'm going to refresh. Where was I? Yeah, I'm willing to skip the morning volatility. Sleep through it all. Wake up at 1, 2 p.m. Eat my food, do my research. Markets are still open, so I won't be missing anything special. Things would have calmed down by then, and I would be able to make my rational decisions of, okay, this asset is dropping. Why is it dropping? I'll do my research and be like, hey, you know what? Maybe I could talk about this in the stream later tonight. And, well, obviously, if the shift starts at 10, I cannot be streaming at 9 to finish at 10 because I will have negative 5 seconds to, have to be at work by that time. So that's not going to work out. I'd probably have to move this shift. Not move the shift, move the stream back by 1 hour maybe to kind of, ensure I reach my shift on time, which would mean that streams would have had to have started at 8. Not saying that this is the case. That would have been the ideal case in my opinion. And then it would work overnight. Like I said, I feel like I'm more productive overnight. I don't know what it is. But not everything is like that. Whatever. I'm going to be missing out a lot of stuff because I'd like to have the afternoons for myself. Do a lot of research. I don't know. Sometimes I'll read the books, record the audio, then upload it on YouTube. Or, hey, maybe, I don't know, someday I'll get lucky and get a girlfriend. And I can't even take out a girl for dinner because what romantic dinner are you going to have when you're working until 10 p.m.? You get home. I've experienced this just today. I'm home right now. And I'm tired as hell. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sleep. I've been standing for 8 hours straight. So, yeah. It's rough, but I guess I deserve this. I deserve it for losing all that money. Serves me right. This is what it's like in the real world. So I must not complain, and it's doable, I guess. Everybody else does it. Why can't I do it, right? So I'll be fine. Do not worry for me. With that out of the way, going forward, streams will likely start at 11. I'll try to do my best, of course, right? I don't know. I'm going to be home right at 10:20, 10:30, I don't know. Get everything sorted out. And then I'll have like much less preparation time to get all the news out, you know, get all the tabs open, stream setup, thumbnail, all that stuff. All within half an hour? I don't know. I'd usually do it like an hour of preparation beforehand. So like I'm at my computer at 8 p.m. to get everything set up. I have an hour to set it all up, make sure it's all perfect in perfect order because I'm a perfectionist and want everything to be perfect. I have this odd melancholic personality that everything just has to be perfect. And if it doesn't, I'll just be depressed. But whatever. I don't know. Depression isn't real. Whatever. So there is that, and that's probably not going to be the case anymore here. By the way, I'm just going to undo this because I want to talk about Bitcoin's price action next. What else? Yeah, so I think I'll still be able to do it. Streaming by 11. So that's going to change going forward unless my whole shift changes, which we'll see. Yeah, cool. All right, so Bitcoin's current price, we did not. Its current price is 108,500 currently. We had a good spike in volatility over here. A lot of shorts getting liquidated right over here, which pumped our price up all the way to 114,000. What is the high point? $114,040. That was pretty good. It took us out of the downtrend technically, so bottom is in, confirmed. There you go. Your lowest point on Bitcoin was, depending on how bad it was for your exchange. Never mind. See, this is another local low. 103,496 was the low on Bitcoin. I think we'll start heading higher from here because why should we be dropping? I know it's probably a bit counterintuitive to what I was expecting for the beginning of this week. But hey, we technically are still a little lower, right? Can you tell I'm tired by my voice? Yeah, we technically are a little lower on in the weekly chart, I guess, right? I'm assuming this candle would be red. It's like barely green right over here. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'm still expecting, you know, just more sideways movement, lateralization. This is an area of accumulation in my opinion. So you got to learn how to trade in ranges, right? To ensure you don't get stopped out completely. I could have taken profits up over here. I was making a decent return, almost 2,000, I think. But we weren't really overbought, so I decided not to take profit and just leave it there. I probably should have in retrospect, because now I'm down 1,000, but whatever. We'll push through it. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to look at markets too frequently during the afternoon. That's probably the time that I look at it the most. We'll see though. Rest of my assets are doing all right. Nothing too crazy. So, yeah. Let's move on. Let's talk about Ethereum. 3,825 is the current price. Trigger order finally got purchased, which is amazing. And it dropped my average price from just above 4,000 down to 3,761. Look at this perfection. We hit my trigger order, which was at 3,672. And did I hit this exact? Are you kidding me? If I did, you guys owe me a soda, because I'm kidding. I don't even drink soda. Hold on. How much? Okay, I bought it at $3,672.29. This might be my best entry yet. We dropped to exactly that low, $3,672.29. Guys, give me a subscribe for that. Come on, leave a like on the video while you're at it. Like, when have you ever seen an entry that perfect? Am I right? It took only like a million tries where I miss the entries by like 2 pennies, but this one hit exact point. That's pretty good. I'll be proud of myself for that one, and I'll dangle it over everyone's heads. It doesn't show that we were really oversold because the candle didn't close there. We just wicked down there and we hit that exact entry, which is perfect. This is great. So Ethereum is already in profit for me. I will not close out the position quite just yet. We are still technically in a downtrend. I kind of predicted this movement on Ethereum where it was like, even if we do rise above this local high of 4,000, which we did, we hit a high of 4,111. I was still expecting like more sideways and or downward movement, meaning that we would just simply have to readjust the downtrend. So that's what I'm going to do over here. For reference, just review my previous streams. So that's where we are currently with Ethereum 3,825. Nice. Hey, finally making me happy for once, Ethereum. That's good. Solana is at 182.53. Downtrend still there, so I'm just going to readjust this. We'll remain in a downtrend until we break 203 or higher. I have a trigger order at 172, so I do expect Solana to make one more, just, you know, well, not that. I hope that does not happen. I hope this happens, right? And ideally, you know, we should be oversold if that does happen at this level 172, because we do have a support level right there. So I'm expecting a bounce near that area. Let's hope for the best and see. I should stop saying hope. I don't want to hope for stuff to happen in the market, because at the end of the day, it's me versus the market. Market's not going to do what I want. I have to try to read what it's going to do next and base my entries or my analysis off of the best probabilities that could be, taking into consideration the contextualized geopolitical news that's going on around the world. Stuff that we will be discussing. I do have news to talk about, by the way. I completely ignored introducing all that stuff at the beginning of the stream, but yeah, we got a lot of news to talk about. I was lucky enough to be accumulating all this news all day yesterday and a little bit today. I'm not sure how tomorrow's gonna go. I don't know how much time I'll, you know, be able to have to look at like news or stuff that's going on. Nonetheless, I'm a good yapper. We're able to fill up time. And I'm usually going to be aiming for like 40-minute streams. Yeah. Staying up until 12 a.m. It's probably not going to bother me too much. I will be extra tired though, because, you know, I just finished working and then this. But hey, I enjoy doing these. I find I'll take it as, you know, just me relaxing, looking at markets, looking at the money that I am now earning with my job. Do something more, right? And I could comfortably take out more debt to, I shouldn't be telling you guys to do this, but yeah, I'm taking out more debt to buy into the crypto markets, because that's how much conviction I have. That's how much I believe that things will make one more leg up, because there's just so much good fundamentals. Like, I genuinely believe we will make another leg up. By leg up, I just mean, you know, all-time highs for Bitcoin, 5K plus Ethereum, 300 plus Solana. Don't talk to me about XRP. And I don't know, 50 plus for Hyperliquid, $5 plus for Sui, $6 plus for Aptos. I don't know, I'm going crazy with these price predictions, but yeah, we'll see. Hyperliquid is ripping it right now. We're not necessarily in an uptrend just yet, so the growth could be limited to a maximum of 41 is where I'm seeing resistance. We're currently met with them right now where the current price is, so if we are able to break that and continue higher, expect 41 on Hyperliquid. Current price on Hyperliquid, $38.13. Yeah, my entry's in the green there. We didn't drop too bad on Hyperliquid within these past couple days either, but we also didn't rise too much. I have an entry at 33 in case we do drop. That is where I'm expecting support. And my average entry is 36 right now, so still love Hyperliquid. Why is it up 8%? It said something in the AI thing, but I was blind. Let's go to CoinMarketCap. I feel like I'm about to sneeze any second. By the way, just thought I'd let you guys know. Why are we up? Institutional treasury expansion. Okay, I did read on this actually. They are planning to raise money. This is me just talking out of my head. To help with, you know, digital asset treasuries and other companies to start investing in Hyperliquid, right? That's basically what I understood. Here's the actual overview. Hyperliquid Strategies file an S1 with the SEC today to raise $1 billion aiming to acquire more HYPE tokens for staking and DeFi activities. The firm already holds 12.6 million HYPE, which is $41 million. They plan to deploy those funds into Hyperliquid's ecosystem, so more money in here. Jerome Powell in the chat. What are you doing in my chat, Jerome? Why are you not lowering interest rates? Do you know how much money we lost because of you? Every time you say good afternoon, markets crash. Do you understand the amount of power you have in your vocabulary? Jerome Powell, I don't want to hear it from you. I don't want to see no rate cuts for the rest of the year. Are you kidding me? I'm taking out debt to invest in the markets and you're telling me that there will be no rate cuts? What are you, crazy? Man, clearly destabilizing the economy over here. Anyway, moving on. Plasma finally got purchased for me, dropped to a price that I was expecting it to hit. I'm happy I took profit up there, so good for me. Resistance at 45. Current price is 34.90, almost 35. And my entry is at 35.84, so. Oh, I should open short positions? Huh? Jerome Powell giving financial advice? I'll open short positions in December. Maybe. Hard maybe. All right. Well, thanks, Jerome. God bless you. Yeah. So, oh, I didn't finish really explaining Plasma. I mean, I don't expect it to drop further, but if we do look at 28, I really don't expect Plasma to drop further, but any small movement upwards that we get, I will indeed be taking some profits. Bradley, why are you watching? This is far past your bedtime. This is now an adult show. We will be staying up late. You are not allowed to be watching anymore past your bedtime. I'm going to tell your mom. Anyway. All right. BitTensor. Down 1%. 381 is the current price. Approaching a very close support. Might even consider an entry here myself. What do we got? Where would I even put the entry? It's going to be like 360 if I average out these two levels, which I kind of don't want to do. I might have to, honestly. Because the support is at 288. And these numbers are like the volatility on BitTensor right now. It's pretty high. So these numbers are changing really fast. You might expect like from 288 to 300 to be a large distance. It really isn't when it comes to BitTensor. I don't have exposition to it and I don't want to FOMO in. We're not really oversold yet. I would expect us to be oversold by the time we reach 300. I think I'll keep my entry there at 300 on BitTensor. I'm not going to touch it for now. I'm not going to fall for it. I'll only enter if I get the entries. Sui is still on its way down as well. Hasn't really approached the uptrend too much. Resistance at 275 after breaking, of course, 264. Current price is 240. Support is at 229, 226, 227. Yeah, 227. That's where I have my entry. I expect it to be oversold. We're pretty low on the RSI, so we could expect a little bounce like this, hopefully. I'll leave this drawn here just to prove myself right in the future. Moving on to Chainlink. Link Whales battle at $17 as support forms. Cool, but it's interesting. Chainlink already flipped to a positive super trend over here, meaning that in theory, we should expect this to continue to make higher highs, higher lows, which would discard the idea of seeing $15 being hit as a support. Nonetheless, I will keep it there because if we do get that level hit, we would be oversold by then. I don't know. I'm going to need some like catalyst to push things lower to fill up my orders. As much as I would like things to start mooning from here, I'm not fully in it yet. I still have capital left to invest. So I don't want it to take off just yet. But by November, go for it. October, just make it a red month for me, please. I got heavily liquidated and I lost all my positions, so... You know, I gotta recover all that somehow. And not by, like, revenge trading or over-leveraging. Please don't do that. But, you know, by doing the right thing, entering where I have to, and... I don't know, I feel like I'm being a bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to, like, how much money I'm putting in. Because I don't want to... We're all scarred by that huge liquidation event. Okay, you feel me? Aptos is at 320 right now. My entry's at 330. Bit of sideways movement, and Aptos has been pretty slow. I will admit it. 279 to just have that there just in case Aptos does continue dropping. We are still in a downtrend, so resistance at 350 if you care. Nice. That's all the coins I have here for analysis. What is World Liberty Finance doing? Just on a side note, I haven't really looked at it. Really close to filling up this order. Oh, I guess I should have updated it. At 11. This probably would have gotten filled. Maybe not. Knowing myself, I would have missed like a couple cents. I would have put it right exactly where that support level is. No, it would have hit exactly, actually. Crazy. This pivot support timed that perfect low point at 1185. Cool. If you managed to get in there, congrats. I don't know, though. World Liberty Finance kind of sketchy at this time. Alright, cool. That's what we have for technical analysis. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the news that we have to talk about. First of all, just reiteration from Trump on what's going on with Israel Hamas. I talked about J.D. Vance going to visit there with Jared Kushner and some other irrelevant guy from the White House. Nothing came of it. I think they just had a public meeting and that was all. Numerous of our now great allies in the Middle East and areas surrounding the Middle East have explicitly and strongly with great enthusiasm informed me, says Trump, that they would welcome the opportunity at my request to go into Gaza with a heavy force and straighten out Hamas. Typo, wow. If Hamas continues to act badly in violation of their agreement with us, the love and spirit for the Middle East has not been seen like this in 1,000 years. Yeah, because they're on the brink of canceling that whole ceasefire stuff. So we want to ensure that the peace does continue in the Middle East, but a lot of Americans especially do not want boots on the ground, American troops fighting Hamas. But Trump's like, don't worry, that's not going to happen. Other nations have agreed to do it for us. Who knows if they'll do a good job, though. I don't know. Just saying. The love and spirit from I read that. I told these countries and Israel, not yet. There is still hope that Hamas will do what is right. If they do not, an end to Hamas will be fast, furious, and brutal. I would like to thank all the countries that called to help. I would like to thank the great and powerful country of Indonesia and its wonderful leader for all of the help they have shown and given to the Middle East and to the USA, to everyone. Thank you for your attention to the matter. What has Indonesia done? I have no idea. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's good. Remember that whole meeting that Trump was going to be setting up with Putin? That's not happening anymore. Moving on. Trump was talking about the massive tariffs on India, saying that he will keep them there until they stop buying Russian oil, right? It's all part of the efforts to end the Ukraine war, cripple the Russian economy by stopping India from, which is the biggest buyer of Russian oil, by the way, keeping their economy afloat during this time of war. Trump is trying to, indirectly attack Russia through India, through its biggest buyer, right? Its biggest client when it comes to Russian oil. Nobody buys Russian oil, then, goes cheap because the demand isn't there anymore, and it will cripple the Russian economy that way. as a way to pressure Putin to end the war, right? But the U.S. announced that is likely to announce that a trade deal with India can happen soon, which will include the tariff cuts, right? The cuts would lower the tariff rates from 50% to roughly 15%, and India is expected to agree to cut the imports of Russian oil in return. So it seems like finally, a step in the right direction. We're beginning to get them to comply with all this. Hopefully this is indeed the case, 5D chess. Trump expects to make a good deal with Xi Jinping as well, is what he talked about. And he ended up saying that maybe the meeting with Xi Jinping won't happen. He's referring to the one at the South Korea, what do you call it? There's like this conference going on in South Korea where world leaders will be meeting, and Trump was expecting to meet Xi Jinping over there. Seems like it's not going to happen anymore. It's on and off at this point. Who knows with Trump? Originally he said, yeah, China is great. We'll be meeting up with them soon, and Xi Jinping will come to US. I will go to China in 2026. It's all that stuff, right? And then, China does the rare earth minerals letter sent to all the countries, and Trump's like 100% tariffs and cancel all the meetings with China. And crypto crashed like crazy. And then Trump is like, oh, wait, stock market's about to open. Guys, don't worry about China. It'll all be fine. I'm still going to meet up with Putin end of the month. And we have our officials handling the situation with, trying to set up a trade deal. And everybody's like, oh, okay, we're just not going to crash and forget that crypto had the biggest liquidation event ever. So there you had that. That's where we were. And now Trump is saying, you know what? We're still going to have the deal with Xi Jinping, but I'm just not going to meet up with the guy anymore. So it's like, okay, well, what's going on really at this point? But wait, they better act fast, because even Germany, did I say Germany? What am I doing? China is taking over the US's commerce with Germany. China is overtaking the US as Germany's top trading partner. Imports and exports between Germany and China, they have a total of $190 billion from January to August, versus the US had $188 billion. So China $190 billion in trade, US $188 billion in trade. They're starting to lose. They better do something. Anyway, moving on. Eric Trump, still very bullish on Bitcoin, of course. He even thinks that it will end at 200,000 this year, which would mean a duplication of the current price, duplicate the market cap of Bitcoin, which it's doable. We'll see. This rise in Bitcoin's price over here was due to $150 million in crypto short positions getting liquidated as volatility spikes across the market. It was just a random spike in volatility. I saw it live. Did you guys see this? This is pretty interesting. Compared to 2019, how much Bitcoin you could afford a house, basically, the average house. Should you buy a house with a Bitcoin-backed mortgage, the dream is you pay off the house as Bitcoin goes up, and the risk is that you lose it all. Would be interesting, right? Because it just, I don't know, relative to this chart, the amount of Bitcoin that's needed for a median house price in Australia, for example, it's doable, right? It will just require less and less Bitcoins, meaning that, your house gets paid off automatically by Bitcoin increasing in value because the dollar loses its value, right? That's what it is. A lot of people are saying like, investing in a house is a good way to invest in. I'm sure there's reasons for it, but the way I see it is that, is your house value really going up, or is the dollar just going down, right? I'm sure your house can go up in value if, there's important stuff built around it, or if, your neighborhood or your town starts growing in population and, accommodation, transport, a lot of stuff getting built around it. It makes your house go up. It's something that happens, right? But yeah, anyway, Bitcoin better. That's all I'm going to say. Tucker Carlson disagrees, though. He says that he will not invest in Bitcoin because he believes that the CIA created it. Isn't this guy family of CIA? Anyway, maybe he knows something, maybe he doesn't. According to Grok, the CIA did not invent Bitcoin. People think it's the NSA that invented Bitcoin. Guys, it was Satoshi Nakamoto, some weird Japanese guy in his cave who invented Bitcoin, typing on a wooden computer. Nancy Pelosi has said that she will make an announcement next month about her political future. Could be an announcement that she may be retiring from Congress, and if she does, we'll no longer be able to track her portfolio on Quiver Quantitative because she would have no obligation to disclose her trades anymore due to the Stock Act, right? If you're a congressman, you got to disclose it within, I think it's 14 days. People violate the act either way, like politicians, they just, oh yeah, by the way, last year I bought some assets that went up 400% in value. Whoops. Well, okay. Clearly you're an insider trader and you decided not to share the details to the public, which that's a violation of the Stock Act. We catch many of those, but yeah, Quiver Quantitative stays on top of all that. And if Nancy Pelosi retires, best trader of all time, by the way, yeah, we're doomed. We will have no one to copy. Maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene steps up, but we'll see. And I mean, Nancy Pelosi is pretty old at this point, so maybe she does step down. Would be for the better. She's crazy in my opinion. I don't know. I was just saying. Anyways, you remember all that Bitcoin that was seized? Well, there's still 15,965 Bitcoins that was linked to the sanctioned wallet, is still controlled by the mastermind, the criminal mastermind, Chen Z of the Prince Group. They have moved on-chain for the first time in 3 years. Notably, this Bitcoin was not part of the 127,000 Bitcoin that the US announced seizing from his operation last week. I think this had to do with where was it from? Cambodia or some African country. I don't remember exactly where. But they seized some Bitcoin. And this is just extra Bitcoin, just on the other side of things. So, cool. Gold, according to this, was on its way down yesterday. Allow me to confirm. Gold, here we go. Yeah, it's technically kind of down. We call this down, by the way, just a small blip in the price after rising so much. But still, that small blip, what looks like a small blip on the chart, it's $1 trillion in market cap. And that's how much it lost in one day. Bitcoin has never done that, by the way. It's never lost 1 trillion in market cap in one day. If it did, Bitcoin would be at 50, 60,000 right now, right? Which means that if you add this amount of money, yeah, Bitcoin could rise up to, what is the market cap of Bitcoin? Did we reach 3 trillion yet? I don't know, we'd be at 150K easily. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, 1 trillion adding this, just multiply this by a third, I think. I don't know how to do math. You do the math, but yeah. And I'm not the only one that thinks this. There's also Bloomberg analysts who expect the gold, the money in gold, to rotate into Bitcoin. I don't think it's disingenuous to think that. It makes sense, right? The money exists. People are buying gold. I'm sure people are already seeing how much gold has increased. And they're like, what's the next big thing? Oh, the digital gold, the Bitcoins. We'll buy that instead, right? It only makes sense in my opinion. Speaking of gold, I didn't pull up the post here, so I'm going to have to search it up. Allow me one sec. I wanted to talk about Wealthsimple. They had like a, how am I not following them? They had a presentation done today. They're introducing $0 options fees, reducing their crypto fees. There's Norbert's Gambit, which is coming in January, which, from what I understand, it's like you can buy US stocks with Canadian dollars by, ignoring the foreign exchange fees. First of all, you don't have to convert your Canadian dollars to American dollars. You just buy at whatever the conversion rate is right there, and you have the shares of that stock, whatever you're buying, right? that's a step in the right direction. And the same thing when you sell. You will get charged a spread, though. That's the only thing that gets charged. There will be additional option strategies such as CSPs coming next month. I don't know what CSP is, but yeah. There's direct indexing. Like you can directly buy the S&P 500, Russell 2000, NASDAQ, whatever it is. I tried looking at the volatility index. It's not there, so I don't care about any other index, honestly, other than the volatility index. But, oh well, guess we can't invest in that yet. You can take out loans for your retirement account. Their reasoning behind this was like, right now, especially in the youth of Canada, back in the day, people's goals was to buy a house because that's how you'll get even more money, right? Your money would appreciate that way by using borrowed money. Well, they're trying to do the same thing with retirement, right? Because you can't buy a house anymore. It's just a fact. So they're turning to other alternatives. Hey, you could use retirement savings, get a loan for that, and save for your retirement, right? That's basically what it is. Odd choice, but I don't know. I'd just rather buy Bitcoin and retire with that. And you can also buy gold now on spot and a lot of commodities, I think, as well. And you can also get physical gold, which is interesting. You could redeem the gold that you purchased in spot and get a literal gold Wealthsimple coin. Literally this. They even changed their logo to this, by the way, on the app. You'll literally get a coin that looks like this mailed to your house. I don't know if I trust Canada Post to do that, but yeah, anyway. RIP Interactive Brokers, RIP Quest Trade, step it up. So congrats Wealthsimple, huge moves. I liked that. I liked the presentation. I watched it live. It was good. All right, back to Bitcoin. Elon Musk's SpaceX just moved Bitcoin for the first time in 3 months. People had, of course, panicked over this, but it seems like the move was just, they were just receiving wallets that remained inactive, suggesting an internal shuffle. They're not going to be selling their Bitcoins, and I don't know. Is this a lot? I don't think it is. Oh, wait, is this... Oh, it's worth what? Okay, $1 million, right? Why do you put these numbers and then a K at the end? Just put... No, this is K. I'm so confused. Is this $1,000 worth of Bitcoin? Oh no, here's the value in American dollars. 128 million, 139 million. So they have 1,000 Bitcoins. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Right. It's the 3 decimal points that threw me off there for a bit. It's not a lot of money, guys. So don't panic over that. And they're not going to be selling anyway. Crypto trading firm FalconX, they're acquiring 21 shares, one of the world's largest crypto ETF issuers. I don't know if that's good. I don't know what FalconX is or does, but I'm sure it's for the better. This was big news, saddening news. I remember Kadena, this new L1 cryptocurrency blockchain that seemed like it had a lot of good potential and its value was increasing pretty good. It made me some good money back in 2021. Back when I was only trading spot and didn't know what I was doing. I'm like, oh, Kadena? Okay, cool. Looks like it's a good project, I think. I don't know. And then they just died. And now they're dying officially, right? They posted out this huge wall of text. I've read it on my free time, but TLDR is that they're going to be closing down the whole project. The devs are leaving. The coin will still be active and up for you to trade, but it's going to have basically no value. It's turning into nothing, right? You could consider it a meme coin at this point. Not officially, but, its value is just air at this point. But the blockchain's still going to be there. You can still mine Kadena, and it's still going to exist, but there's no point in holding on to it. There's no plans to make it better. There's no team behind it. There's no drive. There's no roadmap. It's just going to rot away in existence, which a lot of people didn't like, and the coin has crashed 90 whatever% at this point. Sucks for people like this who, prior to that announcement, purchased more Kadena to stake it. Coincidence? Yeah, 57% immediately after that. Yeah, so rip Kadena, I guess. I was lucky enough to, I don't even know if I'm lucky enough. I had a huge drawdown on Kadena, right? This happened in, I don't remember if it was 2022 or 23. One of those 2 years. Either way, everything was down. Bitcoin was down too. I decided one day to, convert all of whatever altcoins I had into Bitcoin. And that's what I did. I did it with a lot of Kronos coins. I did it with Kadena. I did it with, let me think, what other useless coin was I buying? Some meme coins, Shiba Inu, Doge on Mars. I don't know. Some other project, Polkadot, I think, Polygon, definitely. Yeah, I converted all of those into Bitcoin because I'm like, well, this is practically lost money. I don't want to sell at a loss, so I'm just going to convert these cryptocurrencies into Bitcoin, which it's basically like you're selling and you're just buying Bitcoin. I didn't think about that at that time. I was too busy. I don't even know what I was doing at those years, working and not caring about crypto. Until, of course, things went popular again, researched it a bit more, and here I am today. Anyway. Safe to say, yeah, whatever. Might have sold at a loss, but I put it all into Bitcoin at that time, and Bitcoin has kind of come up here, so I'm sure I didn't lose all of it, and some of it's still there. I already sold all my Bitcoin, though. I'm starting to accumulate Bitcoin again, though. Like, on spot, like, actually, though. So, this time might be different. Okay. Take this however you want. The odds of XRP hitting $4 or above this year have fallen to 20% per traders on Kalshi. So the prediction markets only 20% of people expect XRP to hit $4. That's what I'm saying. Take this however you want. This could be bullish. This could be bearish. Obviously, the sentiment is bearish if nobody's expecting XRP to even cross $4 this year. But maybe that's, your sign of buy when there's blood on the streets, when nobody believes in the project, when XRP isn't hot, because when it does get hot, maybe it does go above $4. And if you're in that 20% that believes it will be $4 or $5, then that's a big return. I don't know if it's worth the risk, though. You do whatever you want with your money. Me personally, I'm staying out of XRP, although I was in it because I wanted to get exposure to the growth that ETFs would have had. Look at this. What is this? I did not buy here, by the way. I bought at 213 and it dropped to 116. So I was just buying these dips over here and they just kept getting liquidated. Still don't want to buy XRP. It's just such a, I don't know, very slow moving coin. I've talked about, like, you add $1 billion to the market cap, it only goes up a penny. Which goes to show, like, there's not a lot of room for potential growth on here. You're going to need a lot of money flowing into XRP, and I just don't think it's got the drive in it right now. So, there you go. Amazon is aiming to replace 600,000 American jobs with robots by 2033. That won't help our investment portfolios. It shows how serious they are about cutting labor costs and scaling efficiency through automation. I said investment portfolios. It will be good for Amazon's price, and Amazon has been rising in price even after, the Amazon Web Services outage that it experienced 2 days ago. I covered it. Yeah, look at that recovery. Outage. We were rising during the outage for whatever reason, and then they announced the cut of 600,000 jobs. Amazon prices, Amazon stock price rises. Why? Because you cut labor costs. You don't have to pay wages to those people anymore if you're replacing them with robots in your factories. So, the company saves money and investors like that. You read this in, Rich Dad, Poor Dad book, right? You make money because the company doesn't have to spend money on, people working. So people lose their job, but if you're invested in that company, you make the money, right? That's kind of a, I don't know, weird sentiment to have, but it exists. It happens. All right. So there's that for Amazon. And by the way, this was really funny. The web services outage, it also affected the $2,000 smart sleep beds, which for whatever reason use Amazon Web Services. Sleep 8 is the company. The customers who use these smart beds were left stuck in an inclined position or with overheating mattresses and stuff like that because servers were down. This thing is connected to the cloud. Why? It's just a bed. Oh my gosh. But yeah, even people's smart beds weren't working. Goes to show the extensive outages that it was experienced. You know, I talked a little bit about Solana when it comes to being related to the cryptocurrency industry, but I didn't really mention Coinbase. Coinbase also went down during the Amazon Web Services outage. So much for decentralization. That was a big issue as well. Like a lot of crypto projects also went down during that web services outage, Amazon Web Services. And people were like, well, why are you using Amazon? That's not really decentralized, is it? So yeah, people were bashing them for that. What time is it? 11:51. I got a bit more time. Amazon, what am I saying? I'm having a stroke. It's really late. OpenAI has launched its own web browser, ChatGPT Atlas, which is currently only available on Mac. You know what happened with the stock market because of this? Well, Google specifically. Google crashed because of this news. Well, I cannot type. I could type, it is just wrong. Google just had this crash over here because OpenAI announced its new browser. When we think about a browser, you think of Google Chrome, right? It's the #1 browser that exists. People hate it. People love it. It's just widely used everywhere, and that's just a fact of life. If OpenAI launches their own browser, that's competition for Google Chrome. And when it comes to AI specifically, it's a huge competition as to, you know, which company has the best AI kind of deal. So for that reason, Google Chrome has crashed. But then I think I read somewhere else that the browser is basically just Google Chrome with ChatGPT AI built in or something like that as an extension. So Google kind of recovered already by now, but the damage was already done here. How much percent is this? 3% candle right there. As soon as that news broke out. Fun. $100 billion in market cap due to that tweet, and OpenAI just posting the announcement of their new browser, right? It's only available on Mac, and nobody's using a Mac in 2025. Am I right, fellas? No, I'm kidding. Probably some of you people do use Apple products. A lot of people do still. I'm not. I don't though. I'm like very anti-Apple. More of a Samsung, Windows kind of guy. I don't know. Sony TVs, you name it. Anything that's not Apple. Anyway. A little update on the No Kings protests. You guys remember that? The numbers came out as to who was financing it, because it was obviously financed. It was organized by somebody, right? There's no way people just gathered up in a protest and made these bird's eye view messages on the ground with people saying no kings or whatever the case may be, or you know, people just suddenly leaving at 1 p.m. It's like you were paid to be there. And, well, here are the financiers. Arabella, $79 million. Warren Buffett, what are you doing, pal? $16 million spent on this protest. Ford, whoever Ford is, $51 million. Rockefeller's $26 million. Soros, doesn't surprise me, $72 million. One of the biggest spenders here. And Tides, I have no idea who that is, $45 million. In total, $294,487,641 was spent on these No King protests. What for? Anyway. My last bit of news. Sanae Takaichi has been officially elected as Japan's first female prime minister. I heard she is not going to hike the rates on the yen, which should be a good thing, I guess, because yen's yield was typically very low. Not yield, but interest rates, right? Either like 0%. It's good for carry trading. If you care about Forex at all, that's kind of the thing. And another good thing that I heard about it is the mass deportations immediately going into effect as soon as she took office. So, based, maybe. Yeah. And I'm seeing like the Japanese stock index, the Nikkei 225. Can I just type in Nikkei? Japan 225. Was on the rise. I don't know why we're dropping now. It's in the 4-hour chart though. It's technically, you know, it was reaching all-time highs during her obviously being closest, how do I say it? She was expected to be the prime minister, and now she is indeed the prime minister. So this is probably a sell the news event, but we did hit all-time highs during that period of time. So good. Congrats, Japan, I guess. I don't think I'll ever go to Japan. I hear a lot of people saying that they want to go to Japan. I don't see the appeal, but cool. If you want to go, good. All right. Not much has changed here. Don't expect too much volatility at this time of the night. 108,378 is where we end off with Bitcoin. Awesome. We made it through the stream here. I'm really tired. I have a headache. I have a sore throat. My feet hurt from standing up. My legs are in pain. I think I'm going to have a good night's sleep tonight, though. Yeah. Well, hope you guys stick through all this. I'm sure replay is there if you missed the stream, if you really want to watch the stream. So that's going to stay there, of course, always. Streams will happen, once again, I'm saying, at 11 p.m. if I survive my day at work, whatever it is. I know I'm trying to make it sound like a big thing. I'm not, I promise. I can tough it out. But I don't want to work, man. Whatever. We need income, and I need to pay off these debts somehow, and the cryptos is not go up, so I cannot pay debt. Anyway, it'll eventually go up. Patience, my friends. I'm looking at Bitcoin's price right now. Might put a trigger order over here, honestly, at 104,600. Looks good. I might do it. I don't know. Will we be oversold? I'll be buying in spot tomorrow either way. Yeah. I'm DCAing every day right now on Bitcoin, so yeah. All right, I'll end the stream here, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, of course. Very close to 500. Can't wait. Yep. Till then, have a great rest of your evening. I'll see you tomorrow.